Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs. And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
Do you think it's different with Du Plessis? Because he can wrestle.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude.
Is Khamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely, he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground, and he has to keep me there. Can I take Khamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Khamzat down? Absolutely. I'm not scared of Khamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Khamzat. That's the mistake everybody.
Joe Rogan's take is blunt. At middleweight, without the brutal cut, Khamzat's engine finally matches his aggression. The version that mauled people while dehydrated could be nastier when he doesn't fight the scale first. If his gas holds, the first 5 minutes become a hazard zone nobody escapes clean. But Dricus Du Plessis thrives in storms and refuses to behave like a clean target. He is awkward by design, heavy-handed, hard to time, and stubborn in every scramble. Put him on the fence and he peels wrists. Dump him on the mat and he builds a base. Clip him and he answers with heat. That gritty marching style makes perfect reads rare and safe minutes rarer. He is a champion because he keeps his feet in bad moments and turns chaos into small wins that stack. Camp talk adds heat. Arman Tsarukyan has been in Khamzat's room and partners describe rounds that feel like live combat. No soft work, pace that smothers, top pressure that sticks like glue. You survive sequences more than you drill them. That kind of grind builds habits. Collar ties into snaps, rides into mat returns, wrists pinned while seconds drip away. If that rhythm shows up early, control snowballs and judges barely matter. Tsarukyan's presence also sharpens timing on entries, exits, and the space between under real pressure.
Is he good enough to defend the takedowns of Chimaev? Let's go further with it. Is he good enough to take Chimaev down? I've never seen Chimaev lose a stand-up fight. I want you to know how good Dricus is at a stand-up fight. Do you believe that Chimaev can tackle this man? Chimaev has gotten on top of everybody with no exception.
That's a freak, man. How about, especially at 170.
Dude, but he can't make the weight. He's too unreliable.
He just needs to be a little bit more disciplined. Bro, 170, he's almost unstoppable. Even when Gilbert caught him on the noggin multiple times and dropped him, remember?
Yep.
Still fucking kept going like that guy never stopped coming.
Kamaru Usman keeps warning people not to sleep on Khamzat. He's felt the strength, watched the stubbornness, and seen how the man keeps walking after getting tagged. Yet he salutes Dricus for that march through champions, because those wins don't arrive by accident. You need grit, smart adjustments, and patience under fire. He also points out that Dricus earned the belt by risking everything, night after night. Respect flows both ways here, which is why the outcome stays foggy, and fog is where drama grows. A lot of sharp minds circle the same hinge. Round 1. Can Dricus stay upright long enough to drag the fight into his kind of minutes? If Khamzat chains entries and settles on top early, time stretches. Hands feel heavy, even short ground shots echo. If Dricus stands, clears the grip, and lands something ugly and accurate, the fight flips into the sweaty exchanges he loves. The opening 5 might be the whole script written fast. Dricus is not asking for safe positions. He wants the 0 on Khamzat's record because it symbolizes patience beating fury. He insists his strength is real and hints that the second round and beyond tilt his way. He never pretends to be the best pure wrestler or striker. He sells himself as the best blender. If that's true, the first storm only sets the table for a longer, uglier meal he plans to finish. Khamzat's counters are familiar and frightening. He points to film where Dricus was grounded and suggests those doors still exist. His wrestling isn't collegiate neat. It's designed for walls and gloves. Snap down, drag, ride, return. Pin a wrist, lace a leg, and make your opponent carry you while minutes drip away. You don't need a perfect shot when persistence turns decent shots into dominant positions. If he hits flow state, he's not chasing, he's sticking. Daniel Cormier adds the wild card, awkwardness. Call Khamzat scared and you only wake him up, but make him see pictures he doesn't recognize and you force him to think.
Just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs. And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along. He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy. Like, I don't know, man. The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder.
Dricus Du Plessis, you can't sleep on him as well. He's the champion for a reason, taking out 3 champions back to back to back. So, hey, respect to all those guys. I respect every one of these fighters. You know, I know people at home were spectators and were fans, and they like to just kind of talk. Oh, he had a bad performance. He had a boring one. But, hey, you have to respect each and every one of these guys that's willing to get in here, you know, in little bitty gloves and damn near underwear and bare their soul in here. So you have to respect that.
Thinking slows the sprint. Slowed sprints open counters. That's where Dricus shifts his stance, throws from his hips, and lands something heavy while entries reset. Chael Sonnen zooms out and reminds everyone the division is buzzing. Wrestlers with hands, kickboxers who refuse to back up, and prospects who don't blink in scrambles. In a room like that, nothing comes easy. Cardio talk never leaves. TJ Dillashaw frames it as the pivot. If Khamzat shows up with a 5-round battery, he can impose, reset, and impose again until a crack appears. If that battery fades, the man who loves ugly minutes starts to smile. Demetrius Johnson echoes the theme from another angle. Early control doesn't equal a finish. If the choke won't slide under the chin and the ground and pound won't close the show, momentum leaks back to awkward kicks and jabs that don't look pretty but land anyway. Then comes size. Some swear Khamzat is thicker at 185, others insist Dricus feels like a tree stump in clinches. That argument ends with the first collar tie. What matters is functional strength, head position, underhooks, and the ability to walk someone into the fence. Alexander Gustafsson has praised Khamzat's natural power, and he would know, but Dricus takes pride in feeling rooted. Whoever wins the micro battles writes the macro story. Not every breakdown leans Khamzat. Michael Chiesa favors Dricus if we see championship minutes. He calls Khamzat a terrifying sprinter, but still a sprinter. You don't beat a sprinter at 50 yards. You drag him into the mile, stack small escapes, stand up twice, make him think about oxygen. The pressure starts to dim. On the other side, Darren Till is certain the storm ends inside 2. Movsar Evloev bets on control and real pop. Caio Borralho reminds everyone that MMA wrestling is its own language. If you don't study the grammar, you fall behind fast. Through the noise, Dricus keeps repeating what defines him. This isn't a wrestling match or a kickboxing match. This is MMA. He believes his advantage lives in the overlap, spoil positions, land the interrupting shot, turn near takedowns into scrambles, and scrambles into offense. Keep the fight in blended space, and trust your choices. That self-belief is how champions walk to the cage. Rumors suggest Khamzat's camp is built to answer exactly that. Longer rides, extra rounds after hard rounds, work added when lungs already burn. The idea is simple. Make the worst part normal, so fight night feels like repetition, not crisis. If that sticks, the first round finish Rogan mentioned shifts from headline to expectation. If it doesn't, the pressure that looks unstoppable in minute 2 becomes manageable in minute 12. That is where belts change hands. There's a human layer people skip, nerves. Big stages make hands shake in the back. The one who breathes first and trusts first steals the opening exchanges. Land early and you see lanes.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in. And that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
This isn't a simple fight where you go, well, go out and take him down. It's like, yeah, good luck. Go out and take him down. Yeah, it's true. And then you got to hold him there once you do it. Oh, and by the way, nobody else has taken down and held Dricus there. Like, this fight is starting to look different. The entire division is starting to look different. There's never been a time that 185 pounds has had such a spotlight on it. I'm watching this guy, Caio Borralho, myself. I'm thinking this guy might quietly be the real assassin of that division, but that's not easy to say. I think Bo Nickel go all the way to the top. And I think that DeRinner is greatly underrated, and I don't think Sean Strickland is ready to move on just yet. Like, 185 is a really exciting proposition.
You're like 2-3 weight classes above him. How strong is he? Because I've seen like he's a good training partner for you.
Yeah, no, he's very natural, strong, you know, and he has very strong genes, and he just comes with raw power, you know. All his power just comes from nature, you know.
Just natural.
Right? Natural, yeah. So guys, to get the full All-Stars experience.
Get hit early and feints make you blink. The body follows the story the mind writes, and the first chapter often sets the tone for the book. Both men know it. Both have walked through it. One will handle it better under those lights. So what does a first round finish look like? Picture Khamzat corralling Dricus to the fence inside a minute, changing levels the instant Dricus plants, and riding the hips through every stand-up attempt. Picture a back take that threatens even without a clean underchin bite, with punches persuading the referee the end is near. Or picture a club and sub, a heavy right hand that drops Dricus into the opening, all that wrestling has been begging for. It wouldn't be pretty, it would be emphatic. What does a late surge look like instead? Picture Dricus standing from hard spots twice, grinning through a few elbows, and landing the first clean counter in space. Picture a stubborn jab that isn't textbook but dials the range, a thudding body kick that steals breath, and entries from Khamzat that slow by inches. That's how awkward timing becomes reliable offense. That's how messy becomes method. Ilia Topuria, newly crowned and watching like a fan, calls it fireworks either way. Fighters can smell volatility, and everyone in the queue is paying attention. The winner won't just hold a belt, he'll hold a schedule full of hungry names. The style that wins becomes the template the room studies. If furious control detonates early, contenders will chase it. If stubborn completeness punishes late, teams will build bigger batteries. By the time walkouts end, predictions won't help, habits will. If Khamzat's habits thrive on early overwhelm, the math is ugly. Clean entry, controlled ride, emphatic finish. If Dricus's habits thrive on disruption, the storm becomes setup for Act 2, where awkward weapons and patient escapes flip danger into damage. 2 paths, 1 cage, 1 truth waiting. So when Rogan says it might be over in 1, he isn't selling a poster. He's pointing at a door Khamzat has kicked open before, now with a frame that fits him better. At the same time, the other door stays open for a champion who keeps solving messes most people avoid. Both doors demand courage. Both demand discipline. Only one opens on fight night, and when it does, we'll learn which version of 185 rules the present. Raw control that crushes early, or relentless completeness that outlasts everything thrown.